What if I told you that your weirdest dream, the one where you're flying through your childhood bedroom while your third-grade teacher chases you with a giant pencil, isn't just random nonsense? What if that bizarre midnight movie playing in your head is actually your brain's secret message, trying to tell you something important about your life right now? Here's the thing that's going to blow your mind. Scientists have discovered that your dreams aren't just random fireworks going off in your sleeping brain. They're more like your brain's personal therapist, working the night shift to help you process emotions, solve problems, and even warn you about stuff you haven't consciously noticed yet. In the next few minutes, you'll discover how science actually decodes your dreams and what they might be trying to tell you about your emotions, fears, or hidden desires that you didn't even know you had. By the time we're done here, you're going to have 4 game-changing insights that will completely change how you think about your dreams. First, you'll understand why you forget most of your dreams within minutes of waking up, and it's not what you think. Second, you'll learn what nightmares really mean according to science, and spoiler alert, they're actually trying to help you, not torture you. Third, you'll discover how your dream patterns can help you spot anxiety, depression, or burnout before it completely takes over your life. And finally, you'll get practical tools to start decoding your own dreams tonight, so you can tap into your brain's hidden wisdom. Your brain creates dreams. Let me paint you a picture of what's happening in your head while you're peacefully drooling on your pillow. Your brain doesn't just shut off when you sleep. It's actually throwing the wildest party you can imagine, and dreams are the main event. It all happens during something called REM sleep, which stands for rapid eye movement. During this phase, your brain becomes almost as active as when you're awake, but your body is basically paralyzed, so you don't act out your dreams. Imagine your brain as a movie director who's had way too much coffee. It's frantically connecting random scenes, emotions, and memories into these wild stories we call dreams. Scientists have 2 main theories about why this happens, and both are fascinating. The first is called the activation synthesis theory, which sounds super complicated but is actually pretty simple. Think of it like this. While you sleep, random electrical signals fire throughout your brain. Your brain, being the overachiever it is, tries to make sense of these random signals by creating stories. It's like your brain is playing emotional charades with itself, pulling pieces from your memories and stitching them together into these weird narratives. Second theory is called emotional regulation theory, and this one's even more interesting. Scientists believe your brain uses dreams as a way to process and file away your emotions from the day. It's like having a personal assistant who works the night shift, sorting through all your feelings and experiences, deciding what's important to remember and what can be tossed in the mental trash bin. But here's where it gets really cool. Your brain doesn't just randomly throw things together. Recent research shows that the emotions you experience in dreams often match the emotional themes you're dealing with in real life. If you're stressed about a test, your brain might create a dream where you're being chased. If you're feeling powerless in a situation, you might dream about being trapped or unable to move. Your brain basically plays emotional detective while you sleep, taking all the subtle clues from your waking life, the things you might not even consciously notice, and presenting them to you in dream form. It's like getting a personalized emotional report every night, if only you knew how to read it. Most common dreams and what they actually mean. Let's talk about those dreams that almost everyone has. The ones that make you wake up going, what the heck was that about? Science has actually figured out what most of these common dreams are trying to tell you, and the answers might surprise you. First up, falling dreams. You know the ones, you're just minding your own business in dreamland when suddenly you're plummeting through the air, and you wake up with that awful stomach drop feeling. According to research, falling dreams usually happen when you're feeling like you've lost control of something in your waking life. Maybe you're overwhelmed at school or work. Maybe your relationship is changing. Or maybe you're facing a big decision and feel like you're in free fall emotionally. Your brain creates that physical sensation of falling to mirror the emotional sensation of losing your grip on something important. The really interesting part is that falling dreams often happen right as you're drifting off to sleep. Scientists think this happens because your brain is literally letting go of conscious control, and sometimes it gets confused about whether you're falling asleep or actually falling. Next, let's talk about being chased. Chase dreams are probably the most universal human dream experience, and they're usually your brain's way of saying, hey, you're avoiding something, and it's time to deal with it. The thing chasing you in the dream often represents whatever you're running from in real life. Maybe it's a difficult conversation you need to have, a responsibility you're dodging, or even a part of yourself you don't want to face. Here's the fascinating part. The identity of who or what is chasing you can give you clues about what you're actually avoiding. If it's a person you know, think about what they represent to you. If it's a monster or unknown figure, it might represent a fear or anxiety that feels too big or scary to name. And then there's the classic showing up naked in public dream. This one makes most people wake up mortified, but science says it's actually about vulnerability and authenticity. These dreams usually pop up when you're worried about being judged, when you're putting on a facade that feels fake, or when you're afraid people will see the real you and not like what they find. Your brain strips away all the clothes, literally, to represent stripping away all the masks and pretenses you wear during the day. The location where you find yourself naked is important too. If it's at school, you might be worried about academic performance or social acceptance. If it's at work, you could be feeling unprepared, or like you don't belong in your professional environment. What's really cool about all these dreams is that they're not just random. They're your brain's creative way of helping you understand and process emotions that might be too complex or scary to deal with while you're awake. Your sleeping brain is basically giving you a safe space to experience and work through these feelings, separating dream facts from fiction. Now let's bust some myths, because there's a lot of nonsense out there about dreams, and I want to make sure you have the real science. First myth: every dream has a deep, mystical meaning. Nope. Sometimes dreams are just your brain's way of taking out the emotional trash. Think of it like this. Not every piece of mail that shows up in your mailbox is a love letter or an important document. Sometimes it's just junk mail, and sometimes dreams are just mental junk mail. Your brain is processing random information, and not every dream is going to be a profound message about your life's direction. Second myth: dreams predict the future. While it's true that dreams can sometimes help you work through problems and might lead to insights about situations you're facing, they're not crystal balls. What can happen is that your subconscious mind picks up on patterns and clues that your conscious mind hasn't noticed yet, and these show up in dreams. So if you dream about a friendship ending and then it happens, it's not because you're psychic, it's because your brain was already processing subtle signs that the friendship was in trouble. Third myth: you can only dream in black and white. This one's completely false. Most people dream in full color, but we often don't remember the colors when we wake up. Memory is tricky, and color details are usually the first thing to fade. Here's what science does tell us. Dreams are most likely your brain's way of consolidating memories, processing emotions, and sometimes working through problems. The stories your brain creates might seem random, but the emotions in those stories usually aren't. Pay attention to how you feel in your dreams more than what exactly happens, because the feelings are where the real information lives. Dreams also seem to help with creativity and problem solving. There are tons of stories about scientists and artists who solved problems or got inspiration from dreams. This makes sense because dreams let your brain make connections between ideas without the logical constraints of waking thought. But here's the honest truth: we still don't fully understand dreams. Science has given us some great insights, but there's still mystery there, and that's okay. What we do know is that dreams are a normal, healthy part of how your brain processes life, and paying attention to them can give you valuable insights into your emotional world. Your Dream Tracking Toolkit. Ready to become a dream detective? Here are 3 simple but powerful tools you can start using tonight to decode what your dreams are trying to tell you. Tool number 1. Keep a dream notebook right next to your bed, not on your phone. An actual notebook with an actual pen. Here's why this works. Dreams fade incredibly fast, usually within the first 5 minutes of waking up. Your brain is designed to forget dreams because it doesn't want to confuse dream memories with real memories. But if you can capture even a few details right when you wake up, before you check your phone or think about your day, you'll start to see patterns. Don't worry about writing a novel. Just jot down a few key words, emotions, or images. Chased by teacher, felt scared, school hallways, couldn't run fast. That's enough. The act of writing it down helps transfer the dream from your short-term memory into your long-term memory, where you can actually work with it. End tool number 2, and this is the game changer. Focus on feelings more than events. Instead of getting caught up in the weird plot of your dream, ask yourself how you felt. Were you anxious, excited, frustrated, peaceful? The emotions in your dreams are like a direct hotline to your subconscious mind. They're often more honest than your waking thoughts about how you're really handling life. For example, if you dream about being in a car that's out of control, the specific car doesn't matter as much as the feeling of being out of control. That emotion might be showing up because you're feeling powerless in some area of your waking life. Tool number 3, look for patterns across multiple dreams. One weird dream doesn't necessarily mean anything, but if you keep dreaming about water or school or a particular person, your brain is probably trying to get your attention about something. Maybe water dreams show up when you're dealing with emotional situations. Maybe school dreams happen when you're feeling tested or judged. Maybe that person represents a quality you admire or fear. Keep your dream journal for at least 2 weeks before you start looking for patterns. You might be surprised by what themes keep showing up. Some people notice their dreams change with their mood or stress levels. Others find that certain types of dreams happen before big life events or decisions. Here's a bonus tip. If you wake up from a really vivid dream, don't immediately jump out of bed and start your day. Lie there for a minute with your eyes closed and replay the dream in your head. This helps solidify the memory and sometimes brings back details you initially forgot. Your personal dream reflection. Let's do something right now that might give you insight into your own dream world. I want you to close your eyes for just 10 seconds and try to recall the last dream you remember, even if it was from weeks ago. Don't worry if you can't remember much. Just focus on whatever comes to mind. Okay, close your eyes now. Think about that dream. What did you see? Where were you? Who was there? Now here's the important question. How did you feel in that dream? Not how you feel about the dream now, but how did you feel while you were actually in it? Were you scared, excited, confused, peaceful, frustrated? Open your eyes. That feeling you just identified, that's probably connected to something you're processing in your waking life. If you felt anxious in the dream, what in your current life is making you feel anxious? If you felt free or excited, what are you hoping for or working toward? Now think about this. Are there any situations in your real life that give you that same feeling you had in the dream? Maybe you felt trapped in the dream, and you also feel trapped in a relationship or job. Maybe you felt powerful in the dream, and you're craving more control or confidence in your waking life. This is dream work at its most basic level, connecting the emotional content of your dreams to the emotional content of your waking life. Your brain doesn't always communicate in straightforward ways, but it's constantly communicating. Dreams are just one of the channels it uses to send you messages about what you need, what you're worried about, and what you're working through. NIF, you did this exercise and didn't remember any dreams. That's totally normal too. Some people naturally remember dreams more than others, and dream recall can improve with practice. The important thing is that you're starting to pay attention to this part of your mental life. Making sense of your dream messages. Here's something that might change how you think about your entire inner world. Your dreams aren't separate from your waking life. They're part of one continuous conversation your brain is having with itself about your experiences, emotions, and challenges. Think of your dreams as your brain's creative writing class, where it takes the raw material of your daily life and transforms it into stories. These stories might seem bizarre on the surface, but they're often addressing real questions. Am I safe? Am I loved? Am I capable? Am I making the right choices? Your brain uses symbols and metaphors in dreams the same way poets use them in writing. Not to confuse you, but to capture complex emotions and situations in powerful, memorable ways. When you dream about flying, your brain might be exploring feelings of freedom or escape. When you dream about being lost, it might be processing feelings of confusion or uncertainty about your direction in life. The really beautiful thing about understanding your dreams is that it can help you understand yourself better. Dreams often show us parts of ourselves we don't usually pay attention to. Our fears, our desires, our creativity, our wisdom. They can alert us to stress we're carrying without realizing it, or help us work through problems we're facing. Some people find that their dreams help them be more compassionate with themselves. When you realize that your brain is working so hard even while you sleep to help you process life, it's easier to be patient with yourself during difficult times. Your dreams are proof that you're doing the hard work of being human, even when you're not conscious of it. Your dreams are your story. Your dreams are not nonsense. They're not just random fireworks in your sleeping brain. They're your brain's way of sorting through your story, the story of who you are, what you've experienced, what you're feeling, and where you might be heading. Every dream is like a rough draft of understanding, a creative attempt to make sense of the complex experience of being you. Sometimes the drafts are weird, sometimes they're scary, sometimes they're beautiful, but they're always part of your brain's ongoing effort to help you navigate life. You don't need to become a dream interpretation expert overnight. You don't need to analyze every single dream or find deep meaning in every bizarre dream scenario. But paying attention to your dreams, especially the emotions in them and the patterns across them, can give you valuable insights into your inner world. Your dreams are a gift from your unconscious mind to your conscious mind, a nightly reminder that you're more complex, creative, and resilient than you might realize during your waking hours. So tonight, when you lay your head on your pillow, remember that your brain is about to start working on your behalf, sorting through your day, processing your emotions, and maybe even cooking up some creative solutions to challenges you're facing. And tomorrow morning, if you remember even a fragment of where your mind traveled, take a moment to appreciate the incredible, mysterious, and ultimately loving work your brain does for you while you sleep. Comment below and tell me about your weirdest dream. Let's decode it together. And if you want more insights into how your brain works and how to understand yourself better, subscribe for more explorations into the hidden truths of your inner world. Your dreams are waiting to tell you their secrets.